Today I am trying some Animal Crossing island themes that are not my favourite in the hopes that I can change my mind about them. This is episode 4 of perhaps the craziest Animal Crossing decorating challenge that ever exists, as I attempt to turn every one of these tiles into a brand new island theme. Don't forget to like and also subscribe if you want to see more, and you can also catch up on the previous episodes, and I've linked the playlist below. Let's get started, and fingers crossed these will not turn out to be disasters. So first up, we are going to try quite a natural theme, and one that I'm a little bit scared about doing because we can't have all of the beautiful custom designs, because that would totally take out all of the space. This is Swamp Core, and I'm a little bit nervous for this one. And for Swamp Core, I thought it would be nice to incorporate my museum tent. I'm not going to upgrade it because I want it to have that rustic feel, and hopefully it will fit perfectly in this swamp area. So Bladder's tent is like right at the back of the island. On the left is the festival island that we did. That incorporated the campsite, and this is going to incorporate the tent. As I say, I don't want to upgrade it because I want this to kind of be like Bladder's is kind of like little swamp area, and there's going to be some like wildlife in here. So we've got the Karopi snack, which is kind of our frog. I do like using the bug models, however, I do hate the fact that you can see the models that they're on. I wish maybe in a future Animal Crossing there is kind of those models, but maybe they have a bit more of like a way that you could use them more as like a natural type of thing, which would be really cute. Anyway, that is one of my favorite things to do with ponds, and I thought I would start off by kind of mapping out the area. So I've got a few ponds in because we're not going to be able to use those gorgeous swamp custom designs that I'm sure you have all seen because they are truly amazing. We're just going to have to do our best with kind of terraforming, which I think is going to kind of make it look not as effective as the swamp, which makes me a little bit sad. But honestly, I cannot waste another 9 tiles on a different path just to have in this one chunk. It would just be such a waste. And then to kind of complement everything, the path that I've gone for is that dirt path. This one I've pretty much used in nearly all of the natural chunks that we've done so far, but I really do like it, and it's so versatile. If you are wanting to do a multi-theme island, I cannot recommend this enough. And then I put down another puddle, and yes, that is a rabbit. Don't know what I was thinking about. Rabbits don't generally sit on puddles, so instead we have a duck, which is much more fitting. But yeah, the larger ponds, I'm definitely going to utilize those little puddles just to get some more wildlife in and just to kind of break it up a bit. I love doing that with ponds. It's such a good way, good little hack for decorating. And then down the front, it kind of left me with a bit of an awkward space. I realized for some of the chunks that I've done, I really haven't planned this out as well as I could have. So I wanted a couple different ways to kind of get into this chunk and get out of this chunk. So this is the best that I've come up with. I also decided for this pond, instead of putting the puddle down, I would try a wheat field. So it kind of giving the idea of like weeds and stuff. When people do Swamp Core and they use the custom designs, they're able to put down lots of wheat fields to give like that feel of all the foliage there. I'm obviously not going to be able to do that, so I thought I would try and mix it up a bit and see how it looked. And then the vines are kind of a fun little addition. I could added like trees, and I will add trees, but I thought why not? I haven't really used them so far. Maybe I'll use them when we come to doing Fairy Core, which is definitely another theme I want to do. And that one's going to be a bit of a challenge as well, so you'll have to wait and see how that one turns out. For this little section, I just thought I don't just want natural stuff, so I'm going to add in some of the glowing moss items and things that look like a little bit industrial but not fully, kind of giving it that research center vibe. So I thought these work quite well, as it's kind of like all the different specimens that are kind of hidden here, and trying to get it as close as to the tent as possible just to give it that kind of cluttered feel and give as much space as possible. Decorating these chunks has made me realize how kind of hard it is when you're kind of restricting yourself to a certain space, and kind of the things that I would love to do if I had more space, but you just don't have the space. You have to be really clever with it, but I'm enjoying the challenge. It is definitely a challenge. You might just look at it and think, oh, she's just chucking down some things in a little square. But no, I'm actually having to use my brain and think about how I want to do things and how much I can realistically do in this little square. If you like trying out different themes, try doing like the 3x3 challenge or like the 5x5 challenge and coming up with different decorations and see what you can do with that space. You don't have to go as big as I've done with my chunks, but it is a lot of fun. And I remember when that was like a huge trend on Instagram and things. Still, I see some come up on my Twitter, which makes me very happy. And it's nice to see what people come up with, because when you don't have a lot of space, you really have to kind of think hard about how the placement of items are and how you're decorating things. And it's wild how different people come up with things. If you were given a theme and that amount of space, I bet nearly 99% of them would be different. So it's pretty cool when you think about it that way. Obviously, we're going to go in with more vine items as well, just to keep in kind of the theme with that. The glowing moss is something that I wanted to add as well, to kind of set it aside from the other chunks that we've done so far. I've done quite a few natural chunks and I haven't used the glowing moss in any of them. I was kind of trying to save it for when it comes to doing this theme, because I feel like it fits perfectly with the swamp. It kind of has that kind of fantasy element to it, so it's nice to incorporate that. And also the mushrooms. I'm not going to go crazy with the mushrooms, but just adding a few in just to break up from like the flowers, the bushes, the wheat fields. It's a really good item for that. This is where I was a bit stuck. I was like, what do I put here? So we're just going to fill in with the trees, and I also went in with the mush partition. I don't use this. I don't think I've ever used this item, but now we've used the mush partition in green for maybe potentially the first time ever. Is there any items that you look at and you go, I really love this item, but I've never used it? I'm sure there is. Let me know if there is one item in the comments, if you've kind of gone, no, I don't want to use that, but I really appreciate the way it looks. So please let me know in the comments. I'm sure there'll be plenty of stuff. I wonder if kind of some of the seasonal stuff, touching back to the last episode, if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. Definitely the bunny day items I feel might fall into the category for some of you, maybe, perhaps. I like the bunny day theme, but definitely more natural stuff is where it's at for me. I said I hadn't used the mush partition before, and now I've used it twice. There we go. Just decorating back here. I know no one's probably ever going to see it, but I really wanted to kind of, if you can see it, because there is a bit of space around the tent where it's obviously lower. So having kind of some decoration around here, people might come and look at it. I might take pictures and whatnot. So I want kind of the rest of mind that everywhere is fully decorated. So that's why I've kind of gone to town here. I am finding with this island, as I've been decorating, I haven't been putting down my transparent custom designs for stopping flowers spreading, and boy, are they spreading. And it makes it really hard because everything is very close together. So before I kind of release the dream address or do the final tour, I'm definitely going to have to remember to go and fix all of my grown out flowers. Flower management in this game is a very serious business. You have to work hard for that. So don't underestimate it. And I highly recommend, if you do not have a transparent custom design in your inventory, in your custom design selection, go and get one now. Do not mess around with it. I have tried to add in some rocks as well, so it wasn't just greenery. So there is a few mossy rocks around, and here is the microscope that I was talking about, and I thought it would be nice to give Blathers like somewhere to sit. And then we're kind of nearly rounding up here. So here are some of Blathers' books, his rocking chair, a nice little kind of table for him to kind of rest his book on, and then we're coming to the end. So here is how it turned out. So there is a swamp core. The next theme is one I never really got to embrace. And again, I'm quite nervous for this because I'm not really kind of a person who can not clutter things. So this is going to be norm core, and it's perhaps going to have a little bit more clutter than your average. So for this one, I have decided to incorporate some of the villager homes. I thought normcore, maybe we need a little bit of a neighborhood situation. So I have moved in Rosie's house already. and it's just gonna wait for her to tick over. And then I thought whilst I was waiting for that, I would put down a little bit of path. There is Rosie in the background looking adorable, just having a good old day, even though it's a little bit cloudy. The weather here today does not look that great. It kind of is trying to do something nice and springy, but it's not really happening. And then this is skip forward to the next day, and I just wanted to show off Rosie again, living her best life, and also move in Aurora's house. Now, did I keep Aurora and Rosie here? No, I did change out their houses, mainly for the aesthetics. Yes, I'm that sort of person. It is a lot better now that you can change things with the kind of the Happy Home Paradise. I'm not doing Happy Home Paradise on this island, but if I was, then I would have probably just kind of customized their homes. But Aurora's house is now in. We're just going to have the two houses here, and here is how it looks for now. And this is kind of the set out I've gone for. So it's kind of like a little bit of a what's it called? It's got a word, a crossroads. Although I had planned it out, I kind of changed my mind a little bit about the thickness of things, and I also decided to add in like a tile on the edge. Now, I don't know if this is necessarily full on normcore, because I feel like normcore you normally just use the in-game paths, but it needed something, and I just wasn't ready to just invest myself in just using the in-game paths. Maybe that's a challenge that I need to do later down the line, but for now this definitely works because I think it kind of ties in with the other plots that we've done. So you can see where the kind of winter one flows into here, which is a Christmas market, and if you want to see how I did that one, you can see that in last episode, which was episode 3. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of have the road down and then kind of make a little area down there where people can sit, and then we have to think about the entrance here. So I wanted something nice. I wanted kind of more like a warm color palette, like creams and browns, which is why I tried this fencing. Did I love it? Absolutely not, but I really wanted to use the kind of brown street lamps and things because I thought that they went with these homes. These are the homes that I switched out Aurora's and Rosie's for, by the way, and I think that's Olive. That's definitely Olive, and I think the other one might have been Blair. I will have to double check that, but I can't actually remember. But this is probably my favorite style of house, with like the wood slats and the tile roof and then the pretty doors. Let me know what is your favorite, because I feel like a lot of people, we don't really talk about this, but we should talk about this more. But for normcore, I just wanted to keep like some really nice simple yards, and here is me kind of changing my mind about everything that I had just done. I was half doing Olive's yard, and then I was like, nope, I'm gonna change my mind. So we kind of switched things out a bit. I wanted to incorporate the topiaries, which when I think of normcore, I kind of don't think about 2.0 items, but I'm gonna incorporate some of them because it can be 2.0 normcore, why not? And the pergola, I think this is just a really nice way to kind of say, hey, we're entering to a new chunk. So the pergola works nicely there, and it kind of also fits in with the colors as well. So that's kind of the new look that we're going for. As I say, I switched out the fence, wasn't a huge fan of it. The white is just more me. Maybe it's just because it's a comfort thing. That's more what I'm used to, so perhaps that's why. And again, with the white flowers, these are more of a comfort thing. And the tiny library, I just love that as well. Just some little kind of nods out front there just to kind of tie everything in. And then again, we're just going to work on here. I thought that the kind of manhole would be nice as well, just to signify that it's kind of the end of the road. Am I cheating a little bit here? Potentially, because technically I think this is on the line. Olive did interrupt us, but she was looking very cute with Bo, and she definitely called me out for not talking to her until now. If you know me, you know I don't really talk to my villagers, but it's always funny when they call me out for not talking to them. So hello Olive, nice to meet you. Yeah, so this bit is kind of technically maybe into the other chunk, but otherwise it was going to cause me such a headache because it wasn't going to be lined up, and I can't have that. So it's just the border, so it's not the end of the world, I don't think, but hopefully no one's going to be looking at this too hard fingers crossed, don't judge me. And then for this side, for the other house, I just wanted to add in like a little bit of a washing setup. I thought that this would be quite nice. This is very much a cottagecore kind of thing, but I like it for like a yard idea, especially when we're using these nice warm colors as well. And then just the little puddle and the old-fashioned wash tub. A puddle, again, I was talking about the versatile path earlier. A puddle is 110% always a custom design that I have. I just think it's really versatile. You can use it for lots of different things as well, so highly recommend that one. If you're looking for a list of versatile paths that you can use on your island, that is definitely got to be up there as well. And then this is the 2 yards almost complete. I was gonna kind of see if I needed something else to go in olives, but I'm pretty happy with it. And we're just gonna add some more fence along here. This chunk really isn't all that exciting. I needed kind of a filler area, and that's 2 houses that I can kind of tick off. Now I really have only incorporated 2 other houses, so that's 4 houses, and we have 13 chunks left to go, which actually that sounds like a lot now, so maybe it's not as much of a problem as I was thinking it was. I think I will, when I do fairy core, I think I would definitely incorporate a villager home for that one, so that's okay. Maybe there'll be another kind of chunk where I can maybe fit in 2 more homes, make like a little mini neighborhood situation. But this is just like the little seating area that I wanted to do. I thought about doing a market, like a little stall one. I remember doing a tiny little market on one of my first ever islands, so I thought I could do a nice nod to that, but then I was like, I've literally got a Christmas market next door. These were another item that I used to use all the time when I first started, so I thought I would try using the floating biome planters. I wasn't all that struck on them, so I did remove them, and instead I just went for some more kind of like town neighborhood things. And then just to finish this out, we just have obviously these kind of spaces of grass either side, so I'm just going to fill them out with some flowers and stuff like that. This is where I feel maybe my kind of design aesthetic is kind of slipping in more than I am kind of being more normcore focused. Honestly, I don't really know how you would kind of fill areas like this for normcore, but my kind of take on decorating and natural areas is definitely to have more cluttered kind of sections, whereas I feel like that kind of aesthetic, if you're looking for it, it maybe perhaps would embrace the green open space a lot more, whereas I've definitely added in the custom designs. So maybe perhaps I should have been a bit truer to the theme there, but hey, I love it. It just makes me a lot happier when I can see lots of different things and the flowers and stuff and the different flower types, the different grasses, the bushes and all that kind of jazz all in there together. So let me know your comments what you think about that. But we're almost there with this one as well. So here is how the final normcore neighborhood turned out. So there we have it. That's going to be a wrap on today's video. Unfortunately, I've been pretty busy over the kind of Christmas period, as have we all, I'm sure. So I didn't get to do any more work on Chunk recently, but we are almost halfway there and we only have like 2 weeks until the 3.0 update, so it's definitely not going to get done before then. But hey, I'm still enjoying this challenge. I hope you are too. Don't forget to kind of like and subscribe, and also leave me a comment in the comments. Let me know what chunk you would like to see next. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.